The man with the black eyes has appeared in my dreams since I was a child. I am now 32 years old and I see him less often, but when I was younger he appeared much more frequently. First, I want to explain that I did not have dreams about the man with black eyes. I had dreams, regular dreams, that he would suddenly appear in. It was like he was an uninvited guest, an invasion, not part of my mind like when details of your day manifest in dreams. This was a foreign thing in what would otherwise have been just a normal dream. It got to the point where he was appearing so frequently in my dreams that I became aware that I was dreaming only because I noticed his presence. In my dream, which was always something different, I'd be going about my business and then suddenly be aware that I was being watched. Later, again because he appeared so often, I began to recognize this feeling and I'd think, he's here, before I'd even turn to look for him. However, in the first dream that I recall, I felt that feeling of being watched and I turned around to see who was there. I saw a tall, well-dressed man with dark hair and entirely black eyes standing across the room from me, just watching me. He would smile when I saw him. He didn't move or speak, but there was something menacing about him, and it was clear that he was there for me, specifically. In another encounter, I felt his stare and began scanning the crowd to find him. I knew he was there, but I didn't see him right away. When I finally found his black eyes in the crowd, he smiled and began eating his own hands, grinning and tearing into his own flesh. Probably the most interesting encounter I had with him was when he finally spoke to me. In past dreams, he either didn't speak at all or simply said my name. In this dream, which I'm not sure was a dream as it felt very much like astral travel, he had quite a lot to say. It seemed like he talked to me for at least half an hour. I can't remember anything he told me, but there was a sense of urgency, and he literally forced me to hear him out. Since I had come to understand I was dreaming whenever I saw this man, I would will myself to wake up when it got too scary. This time, I willed myself awake several times throughout the conversation, but each time I would wake up, I found that I couldn't keep my eyes open no matter what I did. I'd sit up, shake my head, but within seconds I'd be asleep again, and I felt like I was being pulled by some force downward and back to the very spot where he was standing waiting for me. He'd continue his speech right where he left off. Each time I would will myself awake, I'd feel that downward pull and be right back in that spot with him. I know that I've had some really pleasant dreams that I woke up too early from, and I've tried to go back to sleep and continue that dream, but I've never been able to do it. With this dream, there was no way I could not. I wish I knew what he told me, but then again, maybe I don't. At the peak of these encounters in my dreams, I also had some strange experiences in the home that I was living in. Cabinets would open and close, lights turned on by themselves, a shadow of a person could be seen walking down the hallway. Probably the most undeniable event proving that something was haunting my home was when my old television turned on by itself. Since it was old, it was the kind that had 10 or 12 buttons you physically had to push in to change the channel. When you push one button, the one that had been pushed down already would pop up. After the TV inexplicably turned on, each button on the TV was pressed one by one from the top to the bottom. There was an audible popping sound when each button was pressed. Every member of my family, and even visitors, have had similar experiences in that house, but I'm the only one who had the dreams. It seems probable that there is a connection between the dreams and the haunting, since they both seem to peak in activity at the same time. I know that I'm going to see the man with black eyes again. It has been years now since I've dreamed of him at all, but somehow, I know he's not gone.